All right, what's up everybody? I'm going to take a few minutes and talk about paid influencing. I preach in one of my other videos about watch who you get your information from, because on a lot of the big Facebook groups, I see so many people, larger influencers, pushing smaller influencers away from the opportunity. They're like, hey, you're not going to make any money until you get over 50,000 or 100,000. And maybe they genuinely believe that and think that because they grew that large and they weren't following a system and they didn't set up the frameworks and they didn't know how to utilize their followings. Because the problem is, like, me and my wife, we run into people all the time who have like 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers, and they're like, and they know nothing about paid influencing. They know nothing about collaborations. They never took the time to learn the business and build out the frameworks to actually turn it into an income stream. And that's a huge problem. A bunch of people jump into this and are like, yeah, I'm gonna get insta famous and I'm doing all this work and I'm creating good content, but they don't stay 10 steps ahead and they don't take the time to educate themselves in how to treat it like a business and set it up like a business. And that's a huge problem, guys. You won't be able to get anywhere if you don't educate yourself. There's a Jim Rohn quote that I frequently hear. First heard it through Tai Lopez. Great guy to listen to, by the way. And Tai Lopez always said, I took a 67 steps program, which is a personal development program. I'll put the link in the bio, my affiliate link to his program. I highly suggest that program to anybody. It's $67 for 67 steps. He has videos anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes long about personal development. You watch a video a day. He dissects a bunch of famous people, scientists, philosophers, religious leaders, presidents, just a bunch of iconic people, and he dissects their books and their writings and their teachings, and he spells it out for you, okay? He like puts it in the terms that you'll understand and categorizes them together, and it's a really amazing personal development program. I mean, absolutely life-changing. Me and my wife love it. We listen to it in the car all the time. Anyways, ramble on too much about that, but the problem is with paid influencing, so many people get misinformed and they don't take the time to look up or set up the frameworks themselves. So like in these Facebook groups, not only do I see a lot of people not making a lot of money, but then, like I said in the beginning, there's larger influencers pushing people away from the opportunity. But it's because they don't know, or they think they're going to create competition and they want to curb people away because they don't want competition. But I'm telling you, there's paid influencing is so big. Influencer marketing is so big. There's so many businesses with large budgets dumping money into it because it is a really efficient way to advertise and to get their name out there, okay? Even if the person only has 500 followers and that person only got that product for free and didn't get paid, they're still getting that in front of the eyes of those person's followers, and people are way more likely to go check something out if they see an average person using it than they are if a celebrity, unless they're a die-hard fan of celebrities. Like, I have never, maybe a few times, but rarely ever seen a celebrity promoting something. It's like, oh, I want that. No, I'm like, I see a celebrity promoting it, and I'm like, oh, I wonder how much they got paid to promote that. Like, that's my thoughts about celebrities promoting it. But if I see some of my friends actually using something, like they got the product and they're talking about it, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'm like way more likely to go check a product out by viewing it through somebody who I know or frequently engage with than I am a celebrity who I have absolutely no connection with. Does that make sense? There's a connection level there. So you want to set up the frameworks properly. You want to dive in and learn everything you can about paid influencing, the ins and the outs, the collaborations, to keeping your pipeline full, to keeping a consistent flow of collaborations, the networks, the gauging your value. I don't know if I already said that or not, but there's a bunch of stuff within paid influencing that you guys need to pay attention to. And I want to give you a couple starter tips here that me and my wife had to figure out ourselves, okay? And the first one is direct outreach. Craft yourself a good message and start reaching out. Now, in those Facebook groups and other groups that we're in, people are always like, hey, will somebody recommend me some businesses to reach out to? I don't know where to get collaborations. I don't know how to find companies to do collaborations with. Okay, this is how me and my wife did almost all of our collaborations early on, okay? We sat down and we learned about the opportunity and the fact that we could get free stuff. And early on, we knew that people wouldn't pay us. At like 2,000 followers, we did one for like 20 bucks. At 3,000, then at 3,000 or 4,000, we did one for like 50 bucks and then 70 bucks. And it kept scaling up. And it wasn't an income stream then until we got like above 10,000. Then they got more frequent payments. But we started looking at our lives and we're like, what do we need? What do we want? And we're like, you know what? Let's get, we need some child proofing, some child locks and stuff. So like, all right, let's reach out to a child lock company or a child proofing company. We're like, we need to get healthier detergent or like organic detergent, but I don't really know what to buy. So let's reach out to some companies and see what they'll send us, and we'll test the products and see which ones we like. So we reached out to detergent companies and we're like, let's try some new snacks. We don't have a big variety of food. We're always eating the same food. So we reached out to some tea companies because we love tea. We reached out to some health drink companies like the kombucha and whatever. I don't know if my wife directly reached out to them or she found them through a network. Anyways, our process to direct outreach into keeping a steady flow. So let's put that as tip 2, steady flow of collaborations. Of collabs. Okay, our direct outreach and a steady flow of collaborations resulted in what we needed. Now that I think back more about it, we first started this right after our son was born, so immediately we started reaching out to tons of baby companies. We got baby bottles, teethers, binkies, toys, all kinds of stuff, even baby food at one point. And what was really cool about doing this is it's very easy to create the content because it's something you need or want in your life. So then when you get it, it's very easy to incorporate into your post and to create content around it. And most collaborations don't want you to be blatantly advertising. They want it to be subliminal. That's why they send you the product, and a lot of them, very, very few will actually script what you have to say. Some will ask you to mention certain things, but they want your genuine opinion and your genuine thoughts on it because that's how you sell something. You don't sell something by shoving a blatant ad with a bunch of features in it. And businesses know that. Businesses know that they can use real people's real opinions and real thoughts is one of the most efficient ways of marketing. So, we reached out to baby carrier. My wife has got like 5 baby carriers through collaborations, through like 4 of them were from one company because they loved her. I think it was Boba. Anyways, baby monitors too. She's gotten one was like a $300 baby monitor. The other one was like a $500 baby monitor. A crib, our son's crib. We had him in our daughter's crib. Our very first daughter's crib was the crib we used for our second daughter, and then Caleb. We're like, hey, sorry, dude. You're gonna have to use your sister's crib for a year because, cribs are expensive. So we reached out to some furniture companies and we got a crib for free. And then we're like, let's get a new mattress. The kids are always sneaking in our bed, and our queen size mattress, it's not enough. Let's get a king size mattress. So she reached out to like 5 mattress companies. All of a sudden she landed a Mother's Day collaboration for a king size memory foam mattress, landed on our doorstep 100% free. She didn't get paid for that one, but hey, a $1,300, whatever it was, memory foam mattress for free. We don't need paid for that. That's a blessing. And it just became this amazing thing where we realized, like, wow, we can get almost anything we want for free. And then as we grew, it wasn't just free, but they started paying us for it. So we're like, yes, like we're getting everything we need for free, and they're paying us for it. This is awesome. This is amazing. We need to tell other families about this. This is phenomenal. It's been a blessing on our lives. We need to share this with people. And that's why I developed the course teaching everybody step-by-step, play-by-play, everything we did. Chapter 1 is all growth and influence building strategies. Chapter 2 is all about paid influencing. I have I have hours of content specifically about what I'm talking about now, except I go way more into depth in there. And then chapter 3 is further monetization, opening up multiple streams of income. Anyways, if you watch my video, I'm sure you've heard about my course. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I want to go back into some of these tips. So revolve it around your life. That is what we're doing here. What we're doing as the paid influencing. They call it life casting. Life casting. And when you're life casting, you're able to create content and do collaborations around your lifestyle. Like recently this summer, me and my wife have been hiking all the time. Like we've been literally every weekend going on little hikes and then on bike rides. We live like 2 minutes away from a little lake with woods around it. So we're always hiking and biking and all that. So we're like, this year, we're going to reach out to a bunch of hiking companies and biking companies and get a bunch of gear and products that we need and would use, and then we're always out there doing it, so it'll be really easy to create content around that because we're already going to be posting pictures of us doing this anyways, and now all we got to do is tie in the products and we can get paid for it, and now we establish an income stream around our lifestyle, which is the amazing part of being a paid influencer. A lot of people get into paid influencing and they chase all these paid collaborations that have nothing to do with their lifestyle. That's not what you want to do. You want to take your lifestyle and revolve your collaborations and your direct outreach around your lifestyle. Now, there will be times when some of them offer you good payments. There's been a couple times where we, it wasn't products that we were like not highly relevant to our lives, but like, hey, why not? Let's try it. And we got paid for it. So there are times where you're going to get that, but don't do that all the time. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the money. Revolve this around, build this up around your lifestyle, and the money will come to you. Okay, it's very important that you understand that concept. Very important. Now, I want to talk about a little further in depth in the direct outreach. I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between these two, but it's important that, because when you keep a steady flow of collaborations, you're able to make it a steady flow of income. Later on, if you're still a small account, you're not going to be getting paid that often, but the bigger you get, the statistics show that with 10,000 followers, you can earn up to $20,000 within 12 months. Within 12 months of hitting 10,000 followers, you can make $20,000 through paid collaborations. But you have to treat it like a business. Now I know I just said I was going to get back in the direct outreach. So I'm going to give you some tips there. When you get in the direct outreach, they're going to tell you 3 things. They're going to say, we're not interested right now. And if they tell you they're not interested right now, then you put them on a little list and you follow up, your little follow-up list. And you follow up with them in a month. And you follow them up, because if they see that you are interested and you continually follow up with them, when they do roll out their program or decide to do influencer marketing, they're going to think of you, because you got to remember, these are businesses. There's a lot of seasonal businesses. Businesses go by, quarterly budgets. So if they've already expended their quarterly budget right off the bat for influencer marketing, and they rolled out a bunch of programs, well then they're not going to run any more influencer programs for like the next couple months until they get into the next quarter, and they have the next quarter, because they want to space out their budget, space out their influencer marketing budget, so they can space it out throughout the year. You get what I'm saying? So just because they said they're not interested or they're not running any programs right now doesn't mean that they won't. Keep following up. Put them on a list. Treat it like a business. Okay? Treat it like a business. That being said, start a journal where you keep track of everything. My wife has a journal where she writes down all of the collaborations, when she got the product, when the deadline is for the post. And this helps us keep like, hey, look, in the next couple weeks, we got a lot of slots opening up. Let's hit the direct outreach really hard again and start filling in the blanks. And that is how you keep a steady flow of collaborations. Okay? So I just want to give you some of that insight on keeping a journal, logging everything, and keeping a follow-up list. Because the other thing they're going to tell you is they're going to tell you to contact their email or sign up under their network. They're going to tell you where their program is established. And if their program is established through a network, you got to go sign up through the network and then apply for the program. Or they'll give you a contact email, or they'll work directly with you through Instagram. And this direct outreach, we do 100% of it through DMs. Because they see DMs, emails get lost, especially if you don't have a business email. If you don't pay for your email and you're sending identical messages out to companies, like say you want a mattress company, you send that same email out to 5 companies. Well, if you're coming from a free email and you're sending an identical message out to 5 companies, because of the spam laws and rules through emails, because there's so much problem with email spam, your messages are likely to be filtered out and the businesses will never get them. Emails are not an efficient way to do this. Emails get lost, especially if you do not have a business email. If you do not pay monthly for your email account, it's highly likely that it's going to get filtered out if you're sending a bunch of identical messages. So we reach out through Instagram. They're bound to see that. They will recognize that. They will respond to that. And then from then, they'll send you to an email or a network or work with you directly there. Other ways you can treat it like a business is know that after you start turning this into an income, technically after you make like $600, it's no longer a hobby, it's actually a business. Within a year, if you make over $600 through something, it's technically a business and you have to pay taxes or claim it as a business. Start an LLC, actually start an official business and run everything through there. Keep track of everything you do, all of your payments, all of that stuff. Just, even if it doesn't end up going anywhere, it's good to have everything on file. Going anywhere as far as depends how quickly you blow up or not. But you want to treat it like a business. Is keep track of everything you do, every business you work for, all of that. Another thing I want to talk about right here, real quick, is negotiations. Okay? If they are not established through a network, most likely they're going to be open to negotiations. Now, I probably spelled that right again. I'm not good at spelling. I say that in all my videos I'm writing up here. But if they work with you through the DMs or through an email, they're going to be open to negotiations to some point, to a degree, okay? And that's where, another tip, these two tie together. Know your value, okay? Because what you want to do when you jump in and they're like, a common question that my wife gets when we direct outreach is they're like, sure, that sounds great. What do you have in mind? Because what they're doing is they don't instantly want to jump in and say, hey, yeah, we charge or we pay $50 plus give you free product, when there's a chance that you might do it for free. So 90% of them are going to be like, sure, what do you have in mind? And they're going to see what was on your mind, because if they can get away with just giving you the product and not having to pay you, then they're going to do that, especially for larger ones. So know your value and tell them that, but highball your value, okay? So if your average is 130 to 200, which is my wife's average right now, tell them 200. So then they're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can only do 150, and then you could be like, okay, because that's still in your average. You were throwing it in the high end. And then, you can rebuttal once after that and be like, oh, well, I really need, I don't like to do them for less than 175. And then they might be like, okay, but don't rebuttal. Don't go back and forth. Don't anger them. They're businesses. They got to make their money too. But it's good to highball your value in a negotiation. And it's always good to negotiate, because every business is going to try to get you to do it for free. Stand your ground and say your value and state your value. And then worst comes to worst, if you need or want the product really bad and they don't want to pay you, then just go with it, deal with it, whatever. Another thing I want to talk about is how we had that we had that follow-up list for businesses who aren't doing influencer marketing right now, but you also want a follow-up for your collaboration. So for every collaboration you do, write down the companies, because if they collaborated with you once, they're likely to collaborate with you again. And I know one of them, every time we re-collaborated with them, they paid us more money because they liked what we were doing and they liked our content. And we were growing, our followings were growing. But follow up with businesses who you've previously collaborated with. My wife just got another opportunity for like $200 for a business that, the first collaboration she did for them, she only made $50 or like $80. And now they followed up with her and was like, hey, we want to do another collaboration. And this time they offered $200. I don't remember what the size difference was in her account at the time. A couple thousand followers, maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 followers in difference. And it was months apart. But follow up with previous companies, because you may be open for opportunities for more collaborations and higher pays. Okay, so this video, I know I was kind of like scattered. All of this kind of goes together, so I was bouncing it back and forth, trying to tie it in for you guys. But these are some really good tips for paid influencing, because there's a lot of people who get into this, and this is the part they struggle with. They get the growing the account and building influence, and they do really good at that, and that's one piece of the puzzle. But the other piece, you got to build up the frameworks for the business side of this, as well as the frameworks for the growth and the influence. So there's really two strong pieces to paid influencing that you need to work out, okay? Because even if you know all this back end stuff, but you don't know how to grow your account or build influence, this doesn't matter. If you know how to grow your account and build influence, but you don't know how to actually do paid influencing and treat it like a business, then it means nothing. Okay, so I hope this video provided you guys with value. I hope you found some insight within this video, and I hope I opened some of your guys' eyes to the opportunity, because the opportunity is very real and it's highly scalable, and anybody can do it, okay? Anybody can revolve this around your life. Like, me and my wife never thought we had an exciting enough life. Wow, I butchered that sentence. Me and my wife thought we didn't have an exciting life, what is wrong with me right now? Me and my wife didn't think we had an exciting enough life to be influencers. We looked at a lot of the big influencers and we're like, how can we compete with them? But then that's when we realized the businesses don't just want the perfect lives and the exciting lives to advertise. They want the more real people to advertise, and they'll pay them because it carries a different weight. Like I talked about in the beginning, people are more likely to buy from everyday consumers and everyday people that are using it than they are from a celebrity. A lot of people are like, hey, that sounds nice, but they're a celebrity, of course they're promoting this. I'm not going to get too far into that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, because there will be more to come, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.